internet. What's to stop someone from legally purchasing a product and then faking that they're doing this to a publicly available product? But then, once they stop recording, they take the product that they legally purchased, that they own, that only they will consume, out of the store. But at the same time, you could easily argue that is not a harmless act. Because just like we saw with fake pranks in the past, copycats, there were people that then genuinely tried to do those things. And actually, wow, last second update to this story. The man who was arrested in Louisiana, who went to jail, who is now released, claims that he purchased that product, was told by the store clerk that he could actually get a discount on another ice cream, went back to the freezer, didn't see an ice cream he liked, filmed the video as a joke, and then never put the ice cream actually back into the freezer. But a spokesman for the sheriff's office reportedly said that the office believes Martin licked the ice cream before, not after paying for it, and telling the Washington Post at that point he is not the owner of the product. But hey, ultimately, that's where we are with the situation right now. It's another day, just a different version of stupid. But that said, I would of course love to know your thoughts on all this stupid. Then in a celeb controversy news quickie, you had Nicki Minaj. Minaj and several others had come under fire because they were part of a specific festival that was coming up, specifically Jeddah World Fest in Saudi Arabia. After it was announced that she'd be going to this festival, there were a lot of reactions, and in there was a good amount of outrage, with many urging Nicki Minaj to pull out of this event. And among those, you had the Human Rights Foundation, who sent a letter to Nicki saying if you move forward with this performance for a festival sponsored by the Crown Prince, you will be in league with the people who respond to freedom of expression and thought with murder. Also noting Saudi Arabia's oppression of women, even with now more relaxed laws. Reportedly pointing out that while Minaj has celebrated the LGBT community during Pride Week in June, being gay is punishable by death in Saudi Arabia. And the news today is it appears that the backlash, the outrage, or just kind of the pleas to change course have worked, with Nicki Minaj reportedly saying in a statement, "After careful reflection, I have decided to no longer move forward with my scheduled concert at Jeddah World Fest," adding, "While I want nothing more than to bring my show to fans in Saudi Arabia, after better educating myself on the issues, I believe it is important for me to make clear my support for the rights of women, the LGBTQ community, and freedom of expression." And so it appears that the headliner for this event has now pulled out. And so the question becomes, will she be the only one, or are we going to see others drop out now too? With a lot of people right now seemingly looking at DJ Steve Aoki and Liam Payne. As of recording this video, they're still scheduled to appear. That could change, but if they still did perform there, they would be in no way the only kind of celebrities to do so in recent history. In the last few months, reportedly, there have been performances by Mariah Carey, Enrique Iglesias, the Black Eyed Peas, Sean Paul, Tiesto, and more. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Nicki Minaj is a big name. It's very possible that we'll see others follow suit, or, I mean, given the news cycle, this could just go away. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today, and Today in Awesome, brought to you by Postmates and PostToFranco.com. And Postmates, if you don't know, is the fantastic delivery on-demand service that just makes life a lot easier. If you want something from a store or a restaurant, maybe you need ice or drinks for a party, whatever. Hell, it's how I'm getting my lunch delivered today. All you gotta do is just open up the app, they'll deliver it to where you work, where you live, wherever. They're constantly expanding, so if they weren't available for you before, maybe check again. And best of all, if you're a new customer, you download the app, which you can get by clicking the link down below or going to PostToFranco.com. If you make sure you enter in promo code PhillyD, they will give you $100 in free delivery fee credit. So you get to check it out, see if you love it, continue using it, or your life just became a little more convenient for a little time, and then you go back to normal. Main point, get it? Code PhillyD. Enjoy. And the first bit of awesome is something I'm very excited to announce. Next Monday, which is July 15th at noon Pacific Standard Time, we are doing an exclusive limited drop over at ShopToFranco.com. So of course, as always, it'll be first come, first served while supplies last. Internally, I'm calling it our over-under drop. Over because we have our Have a Great Fucking Day polo. It fits great, it feels great, it looks great, and it's perfect for the summertime. And for under, we're launching 3 limited runs of high-quality socks. I went into that specifically saying I wanted Stance quality socks, but not a Stance price. And those 3 limited designs are Pretentious, Have a Great Fucking Day, and Let's Jump Into It. And then finally, for both available in boxer brief and boy short, we have Pretentious and Let's Jump Into It. And kind of the same thing there. The reason it's taken us so long to launch these things is I just wanted to really make sure that the quality for these were just amazing, which is also why both of those styles are modal. But yeah, look forward to that. Maybe set an alarm. I'm very, very excited to launch these. Then we had Casually Explained taking on Being Healthy. It's very informative. We had Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani taking a lie detector test. Also of note here, because they're just doing promo for their movie Stuber. I got to watch Stuber at RTX, and it is actually amazing. Based off of the trailer, I thought it was kind of just gonna be okay. It's actually a great movie in my opinion. Bo gave us some Ariana Grande goodness. We had Historia Civilis giving us Can Animals Commit Crimes. We had Screen Junkies giving us Volume 3 for the honest trailers of Game of Thrones. We got the news that Cuphead's getting an animated Netflix series. And then we had our Phil.Chrono.gg partner game of the day today, Renowned Explorers International Society. It is an incredibly incredibly well-reviewed strategic roguelike. And best of all, if you grab it using our link before 9 a.m. tomorrow and or while supplies last, instead of the regular $20, you can get it for just $3.99. It is 80% off. There's also DLC that you can snag for 53% off. Yeah, grab it while you can. And remember, if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, really anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. And then let's talk about the huge news around billionaire hedge fund manager and financier Jeffrey Epstein. If you didn't see, on Saturday, Epstein was arrested for alleged sex trafficking and set to stand trial on Monday. And on Monday, yesterday, prosecutors in Manhattan charged Epstein with sex trafficking and sex trafficking conspiracy. And according to the indictment, Epstein sexually exploited and abused dozens of minor girls at his homes in Manhattan, New York, and Palm Beach, Florida, among other locations. The indictment goes on to say that from 2002 to 2005, Epstein enticed and recruited minors to, quote, engage in sex acts with him, after which he would give the victims hundreds of dollars in cash. Continuing, Epstein also paid certain of his victims to recruit additional girls to be similarly abused by Epstein. According to the indictment, the victims were as young as 14 years old at the time that they were abused by Epstein, who, quote, intentionally sought out minors and knew that many of his victims were in fact under the age of 18, including because, in some instances, minor victims expressly told him their age. The indictment also said that Epstein worked and conspired with others, including employees and associates who facilitated his conduct by, among other things, contacting victims and scheduling their sexual encounters with Epstein. And if he's found guilty, Epstein could face up to 45 years in prison, which, on that note, during his court appearance on Monday, he pleaded not guilty to the charges. But then, shortly after that, the Justice Department released a memo saying that federal agents had raided Epstein's New York mansion and found, quote, at least hundreds and perhaps thousands of sexually suggestive photographs of fully or partially nude females. Continuing, some of the nude or partially nude photographs appear to be of underage girls, including at least one girl who, according to her counsel, was underage at the time the relevant photographs were taken. Also a big note here, after the news of Epstein's arrest broke, it was reported that prosecutors said several other women contacted them with complaints about Epstein, this including some accusers who had reportedly never previously spoken to the government. Also, if this story is giving you feelings of deja vu, you're not wrong. For years, you've had Epstein being accused of preying on minors in court cases and in police complaints. An investigation was first opened back in 2005 after the parents of an accuser in Florida went to the police, and that investigation very quickly just became massive. According to documents reviewed by the Miami Herald, by 2008, federal prosecutors had identified 36 underage victims, going on to say that investigators found evidence of abuse dating back to 2001 and that Epstein had abused girls as young as 13. The Herald also identified about 80 women who said that they were sexually abused by Epstein and ultimately located about 60 of those women. We saw federal prosecutors in Miami prepare a huge 53-page federal indictment against Epstein, and if he was found guilty, he could have actually faced life in prison. But then, in 2008, prosecutors negotiated what people have called a last-minute secret deal with Epstein's lawyers. And under that deal, Epstein pleaded guilty to just 2 prostitution charges and was only sentenced to 13 months in jail. But also, that sentence is somewhat misleading. And the reason I say that is because he was given work release privileges which allowed him to leave 6 days a week for 12 hours a day. So that's a thing that apparently can happen. Also, reportedly, that deal protected any co-conspirators, and notably, the prosecutors also didn't tell the victims that they were presenting this deal until after it was approved. And so unsurprisingly, this decision caused a massive uproar. You had tons of people condemning the Justice Department for mishandling the case, which also has faced litigation from Epstein's accusers over the years. And it wasn't until February of this year that the Justice Department finally opened its own internal review into the decision. Now, since the 2008 deal, some have claimed that Epstein was able to get off so easy because he's a powerful and influential man, and also because he prides himself on his long list of even more powerful and influential friends. Right, among other high-profile and powerful people, Epstein's circle of friends included former President Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. And of note, he had relationships with both Clinton and Trump during the years that he was accused of sexually abusing minors. And these are close ties, not just passing acquaintances. After his term, Clinton had flown on Epstein's private plane several times for work involving the Clinton Foundation. But also around this, his office released a statement that he, quote, knows nothing about the crimes Epstein has been accused of. President Trump's ties to Epstein also go a while back, with reports of Trump attending parties hosted by Epstein and Epstein visiting Mar-a-Lago. In 2002, Trump gave a statement to New York Magazine about Epstein, saying, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Also, there's an Epstein-Trump connection regarding accusations. Back in 2016, Trump was sued by a woman who claimed that Trump raped her in 1994 when she was 13 years old. And this alleged incident is said to have occurred at a party hosted by Epstein. Now, of massive note here, that lawsuit has been dropped. The woman saying that she dropped it because she was receiving threats. But still, you have people citing the aspect of the connection, pointing out that she dropped the lawsuit, that it was not dismissed. But on the Trump side of this, in 2017, an attorney for the Trump organization said that Trump, quote, had no relationship with Mr. Epstein and had no knowledge whatsoever of his conduct. But also beyond Trump himself, other officials in his administration have also been linked to Epstein. Yesterday, Attorney General William Barr said that he was going to recuse himself from Epstein's sex trafficking case, specifically citing the fact that he had previously worked at a law firm Epstein had used in the past. But then this morning, Barr decided not to recuse himself from the case. Instead, he will reportedly just be recused from the department's review of the 2008 plea deal that Epstein reached with prosecutors. Which actually brings us to the other member of Trump's administration who was implicated in the Epstein case. The prosecutor that agreed to give Epstein, a man who was facing life in prison just 13 months, was Alexander Acosta, who is now Trump's labor secretary. Which, on the note of Acosta this morning, we saw him respond to the situation in a tweet saying, "The crimes committed by Epstein are horrific, and I am pleased that New York prosecutors are moving forward with a case based on new evidence." And that tweet coming out after top Democrats have called for Acosta to